Something I've seen happen more and more recently is movies touring as a concert, where the movie is being shown on a big screen and then an orchestra is playing the music. And I found that really intriguing. So when I heard that Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was gonna have a concert like this, I of course had to go. And in this video, I'd like to tell you the 3 things that made that experience so great for me. The first reason was that I went with my little sister. Now, my sister is 11 years old, and she has seen the first Harry Potter movies before, but it had been quite a while, so when we went, she told me that she didn't quite remember how the movie was, even though she's also had the books read to her. I think she's reading the 5th book right now? Maybe? But for her, this was kind of a new experience, so getting to share that with her was really special. And this was definitely the first time that she saw it in the original English language, because that's what it was. It was in English with Danish subtitles. Throughout this concert showing thing, whatever it is, I guess it's a concert really, I kept looking over to her and just to see her reaction at some of the things. I'm like, oh, this was kind of one of the first times she experienced it, and to kind of see it with her was really neat. And also, because, you know, being the avid Harry Potter fan I was, I had a little tidbits of extra information I would like lean over and tell her. And also, like, there was some puns in English that, you know, I would explain, and it was just a really, really great bonding experience. And kind of through seeing her experience this and experience, like, the community for one of the first times, it kind of felt like I was that little kid again, experience it for the first time. So it really gave like an extra dimension that I got to share it with my sister. And she told me that she really enjoyed it as well. So hopefully I can get her to come along when they do the same thing for the second movie. The second thing was, of course, the music. Now, John Williams' score is absolutely beautiful, and there's obviously things of it that I've already know really well, like Hedwig's theme and all those, like, very recognizable parts of the music. But seeing this with the orchestra sitting in front of me and being able to see, like, whenever there really was music because someone was playing it and which sections of the orchestra was playing it, really made me pay attention to the music that much more, and how it, like, supported the action, what was going on, and like the feelings and themes in the movie. And that was super neat to kind of had my attention being pulled to that, because so far whenever I watch the movie I've like focused on like the acting or the story and the universe, but to kind of have my focus pulled towards the music really gave me a much deeper appreciation for it, because it truly is amazing. And I went home and I put the soundtrack on right after. And it was also really interesting to see kind of how, like I said, how the music really supported the movie. Obviously, if you're a movie person, geek thing, you already notice these things, but I'm just getting into the world of like analyzing movies. So this was really good to show, like, when all the epic stuff happened, you could hear the orchestra play much more, and bigger part of the orchestra played, and it was just neat to like really visualize what was going on, what I could hear happening in the movie. It's also quite interesting because obviously the movie we saw had the soundtrack removed from it, but that also affected the sound effects for some reason. They were lower than everything else. Like, we could clearly hear like the actor speaking, and every line was very much audible. For some reason the sound effects kind of lacked a bit, which was alright, because I know some of them was actually played by the orchestra, like the little when something magical happens. And of course, with having the orchestra literally sitting in front of you playing, it was definitely surround sound, and it was beautiful, and the orchestra did such a good job. And the final and third reason why this was a really good experience, and really this was probably the biggest reason for me, was the sense of community. When I read the books and watched the movies for the first time as a little kid, no one else in like my social group or my class or school was really that much into Harry Potter. So although I did very much have like discussions and theories waiting for the next book, it was always like with adults, and I never really had that community around me. But of course that's one of the really, really great things about Harry Potter, is the fandom, and that the fandom, even though like the books ended a long time ago, at least like the 7 original ones, is still very much alive, and there's so much like discussion and fan out and fan fiction, everything's just thriving online, and to kind of experience that in real life was beautiful. When the conductor first walked onto the stage and like welcomed us to the concert we were about to watch. He also said that this wasn't a normal concert slash movie showcase. What is that name? A showing? Viewing? Movie viewing, maybe? Let's go with that, viewing. It wasn't a normal viewing of a movie. And he urged us all to participate and like clap or woo whenever something really great happened, or boo when our least favorite characters was on screen or something. And normally in Denmark, because we're quite reserved people, we don't really participate when people ask us to. But this time, people actually did. And it just brought so much more life to the story that I know in and out completely, to hear like the audience react to what was happening on screen. And I found myself reacting to what was happening on screen. And even my sister, my 11-year-old sister, decided to join in every now and then. And that feeling of community and belonging and just experiencing with other people that so clearly loved this story as much as I did was really what made it all worth it. And that's also the reason why I really hope that I can go to the other ones. They've already said that they're doing the second movie as well, so they'll probably do all of them, and I hope I can go because that was amazing. And by the end of the movie, when Harry was boarding the Hogwarts Express to go back to the Dursleys, I found myself getting a little bit emotional and tear up just a little bit, because I had been so enthralled in this experience, like completely. Even though like the music kind of pulled focus and of course people reacting kind of took you out of the story, it took you into the experience so much more. So that definitely sold it for me. Another little neat thing that I discovered a few days after this was that Pottermore is doing the Wizarding World Book Club, and like I said, what really was made the highlight of this experience watching the concert for me was the community. And then to see that there was going to be happening as a book club with like discussions on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, I need to join this. So I got myself a copy of the 20 years of Harry Potter Magic Anniversary edition of the Philosopher's Stone in, of course, house color Ravenclaw blue. This is actually it's not the first Harry Potter book I bought, but this is like the first Harry Potter 1 book I've bought, which also makes it the 4th Harry Potter 1 book my family owns. Oh, bilingual. But yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of this, and it's just because, like I said, I really love the fandom and the community around it, and discussing theories and sharing experiences. And I just wanted to give a little shout out to the book club in case anyone else is watching this and is thinking, yes, I want to discuss Harry Potter with people. Go look up at Pottermore, the Wizarding World Book Club. The first discussion happened yesterday, and lots of people joined in, and lots of good conversation was had, so I can definitely recommend it. I'll maybe leave a link down below if you're interested in it as well. Of course, I am also always here, so if you ever want to discuss Harry Potter, leave a comment below, hit me up on Twitter, something. I am down, like, always. I guess the question this time is, what has your best Harry Potter community experience been? If you've had any. If not, then I hope you will in the future. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I hope you have wonderful, magical days full of thriving communities and exciting experiences. That was a really long one. Bye!